All right, good morning, molding, casting class. Let's see how this all came out. Now, I peeled this thing off the tray a little while ago so that it would start to evaporate some more. Remember, this silicone took days and days and days to dry, and having some more exposure to it helps it out. The more dense the piece of silicone is, the longer it takes to dry. And I noticed, if you look, there's like one spot here where I didn't press the stuff in enough, and I've got an air pocket now. But let's see if I can get this thing out. Remember, we just used that, what's his face?
Release.
The release was just the dish soap, which seemed to do a reasonable job. It got out. Everything looks intact. We'll find out how this works out when we get into the inside of it. Now, today, we have two shells, which we are now going to make copies of using this stuff. Now, this is smooth cast. This is not a urethane rubber like the stuff that failed on us. This is a urethane plastic, so this will set up into a hard plastic. Again, going from flexible and soft things into hard things. If we have a hard cast, we have to have something flexible to get out of it. Also, everything that we're doing so far, even this to a degree, is all flat backed. There's nothing on the back of this though. We're doing one part molds, we're not doing two part molds, that's coming up. So now, first, if we're going to be using one of these Reynolds materials, one of these smooth-on materials, we must use the smooth-on release. Ah, there it is. So, remember, we hit a spray. We're going to brush it a little bit. I'm going to hit a spray. I'll try to get in all the nooks and crannies there. We used a brush. Trying to make sure we get into all the nooks and crannies that the spray may or may not have gotten into. Last thing you want to do is have this thing get hung up in one spot and mess things up. Mess up its own cast and also possibly mess up the mold. You don't want to mess up the mold because ideally you want to be able to run these molds a couple times. Alright, and then one last little blast. And okay, now releasing is done. I've set this thing up on this tray so that it's balanced. Right now the downside of this is it's not in any way level. This is, but this is not. So I have to have something around it. Hey, look, a shell that can make it level. Okay, so now, parts A, parts B. The pot life on this stuff, interestingly enough, is 7 minutes. So I may do like a little time-lapse thing with the camera here, and so you can see it set up when it sets up. Alright, let's get that out of here. And get that out of here. It says shake well before opening. I did that before you guys got here. And part A, a little more than I would have liked, but okay, well, we'll see how big this is going to be. Part B. That's always the tricky part of this because you're measuring them out separately, and then you've got to adjust for what the volume will be when they are together. Now take a look inside. You'll notice these are clear. Before they set up, they are clear. When they set up, they will turn white. And that's sort of a dramatic, interesting thing. So, 7 minutes, remember? Here we go. And mix, 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 mix. Yeah, I got a bunch of this stuff. I may have to do something else with it. And let's pour it back in there. Man, I'm trying to get every bit of this so that it's all together, all part of A and all part B, all together and making it happy. This is why I like to have a couple extra molds lying around so I can run something else, and I may run in and get something before the 7 minutes is up. Alright, now pouring at the bottom end of the mold, and the nice thing with these things is you can make a little spout with them. And fill it up. There we go, and let's see how this one goes. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have plenty more. Alright, oh man, I got a bucket more. Alright, pause for a minute. Alright, so I pulled a couple extra molds, and these are the urethane, Vitaflex urethane molds. I got like a horsey here, it looks like. Start at the lowest end. Now, if you look inside, that horse has a hole in its nose. I'm going to try to get the bubble out. Come on, there we go. That's it. Don't want to have a bubble where its nose is. Ooh, looks like this stuff is starting to kick. And then this thing It's like throwing star. And this has got this weird outer ring. Oh, I'm still going to have a bunch left over. Can never accurately estimate what's going on with this stuff. So, last resort.
Not the glove.
Yep, the glove. There we go. Now, you get to watch and you get to see how those things set up. And you'll see, oops, I did that. This is starting to drift to one side. The levelness of everything is a crucial issue because this is effectively water. It'll flow to the lowest spot. So if you don't get it level, you don't get it. All right, so again, we're waiting. It'll start to turn a little milky in spots. And we're seeing some milkiness in the horse here. A couple little bubbles on the shell. This is starting to get a little bit of milkiness around there, but it's not kicking over yet. All right, so yeah, you can start to see this is kicking. This is kicking around the edges. This may be kicking because we messed it up, messed with it most.
Is it hard if you touch it?
It's still not, yeah, it's starting to get hard, but it's still taking its time.
It's still hot.
Oh, yeah, it's been, you know, sitting in the bucket.
Oh, this one's getting whiter, look.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. So is this. Look like little clown shoes.
Yeah,
Oh, this
so
one's getting white there.
There it goes. So this isn't the ultra fast stuff, but it is sort of fast. And that's like 7 minutes. It's hardening up. You can walk away. The nice thing about these pieces that's set up fast, the idea being that you can then run that mold multiple times a day. You know, you pour it, wait an hour, pop it out, pour it again, wait an hour, pop it out, pour it again. So if you do have to, in a production run, produce a series of these things, you can do something that does set up pretty quick.
Do they have it in clear, not white?
Yes. The dilemma with the clear stuff is the clear stuff almost always has cyanide in it. Is that? Yeah. That's getting solid. A little flexible at the bottom, but it's getting solid.
Is it like actually like
That's almost white.
plastic, like
there
hard
it goes.
plastic?
Look at it. Here it goes.
It's actually
Ghost.
like hard plastic.
Hard plastic. Yep.
Doesn't feel like hard
It
plastic.
ain't done yet.
It's malleable.
It's not done yet.
Oh, that one's like it's all white.
That one's all white. This one's starting to cloud up. You can see it happening. This one is really filling in slowly from the edges.
I don't know why.
But this is like, you can see that little cloud beginning to grow together. It looks like a mouth coming to eat you with fangs.
This is one of those things where you have to look away for it to do anything.
Yeah, watch pot never boils.
It's like a time lapse of it if you put like your phone like right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it getting bigger.
Yeah. And you can start to see now like a ghost in the middle of this thing too, not just the edges coming in. And this guy right here is still a little malleable, but getting harder. And that's it. We will unpack these next time.